We know what a new car is, I think. Car comes off the truck, Michael, it's brand new, it shows up at the dealership, it has no miles on it, that's a new car. I think we'd all agree with that, right? A car that's been sold to 3 or 4 individuals, traded into a dealership, sold to another individual with 100,000 miles, titled a bunch of times, that's probably a used car. The reason Max is shaking his head is he doesn't want the one in between, do you, Max? Because at some point it comes from new to used. And what's the correct answer? You know, if I was to say it depends, I don't really think that they'd appreciate that as the answer. Michael, would you take it depends and we can move on?
I'd have to press you on that one,
we got to do a little better than that. I've got from the front row somebody saying when it's titled. Is when it's titled the answer? What's advertising have to do with it? So whatever I say goes? Okay, so advertising may not be the answer, but I have to advertise it appropriately. And when it's titled makes it used? What, you know, he said title, you're saying ultimate purchaser. Which is it?
Let's go with both.
So both control. We all sell new and used cars, right? We don't know what the answer is? What is the answer? Answer, Michael, is what law do you want to apply? Because there's more than one law that applies, doesn't it? You're talking about titling and you're throwing an ultimate purchaser. Where's that coming from? When a car is new, and Max, you know from the new cars you sell, when you sell a new car, it arrives at your dealership, what happens? There is a sticker that's on the car. Is that the FTC used car sticker? No. It's a Monroney sticker. Why is it called Monroney? It's named after the member of Congress that sponsored the law years ago that passed. It is the Monroney sticker. Had he known that, he probably would have had nothing to do with it, right? The Monroney sticker stays on the car until it gets sold to whom? An ultimate purchaser who is one that uses primarily for personal, family, or household use. That's where your ultimate purchaser is coming in and obviously be titled to them. So to be a used car, it has to be titled to an ultimate purchaser, correct? No. Why not? If it's sold to an ultimate purchaser for personal, family, or household use, it's used. But is that the only way? No. Max's new car that shows up with the Monroney sticker on is brand new. If he drives it as a demo and puts 100 miles or 1,000 miles on it, is that still a new car? That's not an answer, Jeff. You can't qualify and say this. Is that a new car, yes or no?
I don't believe that.
It's both. A nice answer, Kyle. It's both. It's new and used. So which, now here's the question, and this is a guy that actually sells paperwork to dealers. Which box do I check? Just check them all, we can't go wrong. And then advertise it that way. What happens is this. That's a new car under the Monroney law. And what Jeff is pointing out is, now wait a second. It's got miles on it. It's not new under the FTC used car rule. Because the FTC used car rule says what? A car is used if it has driven more miles than are necessary to deliver to an ultimate purchaser. So whether you're lucky or not, Kyle, you're right. It is new and used. It's new under Monroney. It's used under the FTC used car rule. And then you start getting into the different state laws, which is where Jeff was going. Okay, is it eligible for sales tax and the money difference? How am I going to tax that transaction? Beyond that, and this is where Mary Ellen came from and said, okay, Keith, advertise it appropriately. We've got new cars. That may be a new demo. We've got new cars, we've got used cars, and we do have those that are kind of new, kind of used. So the answer, Michael, and what would seem a simple question is, what's new or used? You've got to look at the federal Monroney law, the federal FTC used car rule, the state UDAP statute, the state motor vehicle code, and the state taxation code, because you have cars that are new, cars that are used, and cars that, depending upon the age, mileage, and use, will fall into the middle category. And then you have to advertise it appropriately under the state UDAP statute and complete the paperwork in the appropriate fashion. There's your answer.
Simple.